So welcome to Behind the Masterminds, episode 13. We are here today with Scarlet Envelope and Lisa.
How are you? Let me say Scarlet ever again. Keep saying that.
You're not the first, you're not the last. It's okay.
Before we get into it, though, let's...
Yeah, so we're going to do our raffle drawing first from episode 11 of our show with Wild Optimus. And we're going to see who is the lucky winner for Vampire Pizza game.
Vampire Pizza.
Yes.
All right, who is it? Let's go. And the lucky winner is...
Oh my god, it's
Angela, cracking nut, Angela?
Yes.
Congratulations, Angela. Wow.
Awesome. She's going to be super hyped.
Yeah, one great game developer to the next. That's great. All right, so let's get into it.
Yeah, so today, before we go into the interview, we're just going to announce that if anyone orders this amazing game from Scarlet Envelope, that there are going to be a 20% discount code for the next 24 hours.
What's the code?
The code is MasterMinds.
Yeah.
We'll put that on the show.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
That's what
product placement.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
then during the interview, if anyone has any questions, ask them. Feel free to type it in there, and we'll put them in as we go.
Yeah, we'll relay those to them and get the answer that you're looking for.
So back to today's wonderful guests with Anna and Lisa. They're from Toronto. They're a lovely couple that's passionate for board games, escape rooms, and mysteries. Who isn't?
Yeah, that sounds like us, just we don't create anything.
And Scarlet Envelope is their first puzzle project, actually. It's a 13-game-long subscription mail-in game that is 3,000% funded on KickStarter. Wow. Which is pretty amazing for their first game. I wonder what happens to their second game.
Yeah, oh my God, 3,000. You can make it like 3 times.
Yeah. And their background is in content design, but besides Scarlet Envelope, they run a media agency which they specialize in web, video, visuals, and I think that's also a reason why they have such an amazing graphics that we've seen in the game. Anna is a marketing boss holding a master's degree in public relations, and Lisa is a professional graphic designer who studies both architecture and engineering.
Wow, powerful team there.
Yeah, I feel like soon we'll see some 3D buildings maybe in the game soon.
Lisa, how about that?
Challenge accepted. Nice.
Pending.
Yeah. Okay, so our first question for you, being that this is your first puzzle project, were you surprised to see the end result of getting funded with 3,000%? And what was your initial reaction? Did you say oh, let's go get party and get drunk now? We're done. Or did you feel the pressure of having to create something really amazing now because you're funded with this?
Bar is set so high now.
Well, first of all, can I just say thank you for having us today? It's really nice to be here today.
Absolutely.
And we're really thrilled to have a chat with you about all this. The reaction. Well, I think I have a story on Instagram on my personal account where I'm dying. They're I'm shocked. I have this huge eyes. I'm panicking at the same time, and Lisa's panicking, and we're both oh my God. But I think that was the story when we just got a couple of backers, but really fast. Because why we funded 3,000%? It's not like we made millions from the game. It's because we had very low expectations. we had a really tiny goal because we just thought, if we can make a couple of bugs just to cover all the marketing expenses, we'd already be really, really happy because we just wanted this game to happen so badly, and we didn't have a lot of investment to create it. So we were okay, the starting little capital would be amazing to have, and we got it in 2 hours, and we were just looking at the screen, just purely shocked. I was shocked. I didn't expect this to happen, and by the end of the campaign, I was hooked already, reloading the page all the time, being I have no idea where it's going to end.
Yeah.
It's like watching stocks. Watching stocks grow.
Kind of, hustling, of course, a lot to make this happen. It's not that it just happened, of course not. But still wasn't expecting this. What about you? Panic, a lot of panic, because the more there is, the more responsibility there is as well. Yeah, right. Now I remember. I was the one jumping, thrilled. She was the one in the corner being like, "We are doomed. We are doomed. We have hundreds of people waiting for us to deliver this now, and if we don't."
And yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys came through with the idea, because people really love the game, and the concept behind traveling during this time frame to different types of locations in the world with just props that you're creating is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So we're really looking forward to what's to come. But
especially right now, because everyone is, they're supposed to be staying at home, and now they have something to do, and it's always like the latest and greatest project that gets released. I think most people are just trying to help make that happen so that there's more games to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously the marketing was great, and your concept is definitely what makes them want to, builds the curiosity and makes them want to see it actually come to life.
I think, like I said in the review, it was very, popping, the color, because
it's my favorite
all
color.
the in all the mailers, like what we receive, which is mostly ads and stuff that we don't want to open, we see like this beautiful red color envelope. We're like, ooh, what's that? Like right away, it's like everything else goes aside. What's in this red envelope? So it was great color choices.
Yeah, and I love all of the Easter eggs that are planted. I don't want to say too much, but that are planted in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about this type of games because you don't want to spoil too much, but you also want to talk about the puzzles. It's a tricky one, but thank you. I appreciate it.
We're always like, and that thing was great. Oh, and that thing. Yeah. But we can't tell what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so about the idea that, how this came about, right? Did you guys, was this like a, idea that just popped up one day? Who was behind the narratives and the graphics? I kind of already know, but I just want to hear, was there dividing team effort here?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely divided, because when we try working together in one room, we just have a scandal. So that doesn't happen.
You do your job, I'm fine.
This is Linda's cabinet, this her office. I knock before coming in, so it's very exclusive right now for me to be here with her. Amazing. It's just because, our deadline is a lot of pressure, so we're working a lot to make this happen as fast as we can, and I guess because of that, it's a lot. We need to be dividing the tasks, but it's also because I can't compete with Lisa in terms of the visuals and graphics. So everything is that's Lisa, but what's behind it, the narrative design, the story, some puzzles, definitely not most of the puzzles. Most of the puzzles are also her, but some of them is me. So I'm mostly coming up with the narrative, actually making it work, research, and second game is already based on real life events in 19th century, and I'm the time real life. Okay, not the real life events, but real life situation that could have happened. That is believable. That's based on research we actually done. In terms of the history and how the laws were working and all the crazy stuff. And Lisa totally thinks it's sometimes not even necessary, but I believe that in terms of storytelling, these things I'm
getting a little
20 pages long, okay?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was feeling a little.
Yeah. That's
we heard most of it.
Yeah. So pretty much you're saying a lot of the researching has been done, but the stories are fictitious, right? They're not real, but they're based somewhat on histories that you found throughout. And I think definitely we see that in the props in terms of when the centuries of the postcards were made, or the tickets, they just feel very ancient, they're supposed to be from that timeline.
Yeah, it definitely let us feel like we were actually there, in real life. So
Yeah.
Question number 3, what is your process of making the puzzles? Like, do you write the puzzle first and then the story? Because I know the big reveal is in the ending. Is it constantly changing as you go? Or are you already know what's going to happen at the end and then you work backwards to finalize the whole thing?
We're definitely not working backwards. I know that it is a strategy for a lot of creators, but for some reason it's not working for us. We're starting from the idea, and honestly, it's one of the most beautiful things about this whole project that I love so much, that you can just sit down and ask yourself, okay, what kind of game do I want to create? And because we don't have one theme that limits us, like we're not a catch the killer kind of subscription or adventure treasure hunt kind of subscription. No, like we are just time traveling to different universes, different times, different places. So we really can do whatever we want, however we want. And that's something that excites me so much. So we just sit down and we just go, okay, what are we passionate about right now? And at the beginning it was, okay, first game we actually wrote down was the space-themed game. That's going to be game number 3 in the chapter. Just because it turned out a bit more difficult, a bit more techy, we decided to move it a bit, not make it the first game. So it's just because we are geeks, and at the time, we were watching a lot of movies that are space-themed, and we were like, okay, you know what if this and that would happen?
Right.
Like, that would be such a cool story. And I sit down, that's kind of like a detective based, so you can have some suspects, you can think something that's not entirely right, and somehow it works it out. And we add puzzles on the way, and usually when I give the game to Lisa, it's something like 25-30 pages of a Google Doc with a lot of ideas and like a little, like little kind of pieces of the story with ideas like, what if we have this kind of puzzle here and this kind of puzzle there? And Lisa usually says, okay, you know what, 30% of it is crap, but most of it will work, so let's change this and that, and it's gonna be good at the end. And then we start the graphic design part of the job and the coding part of it, and then the production and the printing and the cutting and the assembly and the shipping.
So part B, a question for Lisa. How long does it take you to go through all that information and realize, like, for example, 30% of it is this, and like how long does it take you to do that?
Well, she gives me a rough skeleton, so I don't have to go through the whole document. Like in our second game, she had a lot of research that was absolutely unusable in game, so I didn't even look at it.
That's my reality, yeah.
But Anna, you must have like so much content that it's like, here's all my ideas, and at least it's like, yes, no, yes, no.
Yeah, I don't just give her, a bunch of pages about like 19th century. No, I actually give her a skeleton of, okay, so the third item in the envelope is, say, a piece of a newspaper that looks really old. Okay. This is the information I want to have there and the pictures I want to have there. Just design it the way that it works, and that's the backstory behind it, and this is why I want this and that. And then Lisa can go to, some research I've done and check it out. And just by the end of the game design, we just decide that some puzzles don't work. Or after the play test, unfortunately, we'll let go of some puzzles because we see that they just not doing it for people, or they just too hard or not logical enough. There is a lot of just compromising on what we thought would work, but it doesn't really.
Right.
But it's also just our decision making in terms of like just sitting down and having a discussion on, okay, I want to have this because, okay, it's not a good idea to have this because.
That sounds like a good teamwork there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, the communication definitely is there. So.
Yeah.
Hey, Krista, how are you? Krista has a question for you. She wants to know what inspired you guys to start the project in the first place.
Oh, that's a great question. The COVID just hit, really. So it was frustrating for all of us, right? And we are fans of escape rooms and all kinds of puzzle games, but mostly escape rooms. And it was super frustrating that we couldn't go to an escape room to play with our friends, to just even do it, just the two of us, just our little bubble. Even that wasn't available for a long time. And we also had some extra time because, well, COVID affected our main job as well. And then we came across this new thing, this paper-based subscriptions. There weren't a lot on the market. There's still not a lot on the market. But we started, getting more familiar with all the box subscriptions on the market, everything that's there really. And we kind of figured that we can find something that works for us perfectly, something that we would really love to have. All of them are great in their own unique way, but we wanted something a bit more diverse, crazy. Crazy. Like, I wanted to have an option to play different things on regular basis. Like, I wanted to have like what we have. That's what I wanted to have. Like this month, I would like to play a game that's very like narrative based, happening in medieval times, very like magical and with illustrations. It's gonna be our game 8, by the way. And next month, it'd be so cool to just switch to something like Paris and cabaret in 19th century with a beautiful girl who disappears, and then some serial killer stuff. Yes, some of it maybe, but not all of it all the time. So we thought, okay, what is it doable? Why is no one doing it? And one day I just sat down and ran some numbers and just looked at it and was like, what's the subscription-based model, just business model, that seems like a really legitimate, really great model for something like a small business that we could do, because we do have skills for this.
Right.
And then just realistically looking at the investment capital that we have, which is not a lot, and
but now you have.
Well, and the time frame, because the idea was, okay, we are frustrated and we want to play something like this, and I'm sure there are other people out there who are just as frustrated and they would also love to play this, and we could all just play together, just be happy, connect again. And so we thought, okay, what can we do fast, like really fast? And Kickstarter wasn't even our initial idea.
I think some friend just recommended
some friend recommended it to us. Was like, we were just talking to our friends and telling them that this is something we're working on right now, and they said, that sounds like something for Kickstarter. And we were like, it actually does. It actually freaking does. We should research this. And so by that point, we were already ready to launch the website and start shipping and selling directly, but we changed everything. We just started from scratch again to launch the Kickstarter, because it's really a separate job to launch a Kickstarter. It's a lot, but we already had a little promo video that we used, so that was great. And we already had, obviously, the brand and the concept and all the main things. And so we just went for it. Just was one game and
Kickstarter.
Yeah, that's great awesome. Turnout.
And I think what you said before about the different concepts of traveling around and different types of game, that is something that we feel like is sort of lacking in the industry, where one game could just be one a storyline or theme oriented, but now you have people going to different types of themes every single month, right? You're doing monthly now, or are you doing bi-weekly?
We're doing monthly. Initially, we wanted to do bi-weekly as well, and we are going to, but when we have enough games, so it doesn't, have that much pressure that's right now.
Got it.
Welcome, Krista. Thank you for the question.
Next question 4.
Yeah, and I think the fact that each game reveals only a bit about the ending that you need to play in order to reveal the secret is kind of hooking people onto the game, because they're like, no, now we have 5 pieces. We need to play all the other 7 in order to see what everybody's going to see at the end. So that's pretty genius way of the way that you guys designed it. Since 13 games is a long subscription, are you done with all of it, or where are you up to now?
Oh, we're definitely not done with all of it. We're working on it as we speak. We're working on it as we speak. A lot is done, but we just the problem is we've done with the start, and then one game 8, and then one game
12.
So it's a bit of everything. It's in pieces, and what we find is that some games we can finish them really fast. Some of them, I don't know what's that. Maybe we're just crazy inspired, or maybe it's just because of the way we managed to think of all the print materials and all the websites that we're going to base on something that we already have. So something happens really fast. In some games, we just get so stuck. It's crazy. And it happened with the game too. So while we were finishing up the game too, being pretty stuck with it, we were also working on other games at the same time. So that was good. But game 2 was just so much work. Starting from May, it felt like we're almost there, for like 3-4 months. It was constantly it just felt like, we have it. It's just this little couple of things, and it's gonna be good. And it took forever, really. But I'm really happy with the result.
We finished it and we printed it all.
Yeah. Then because we're learning a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's our first project, a lot of things that are happening would probably scare us off if we knew about them.
KickStarter.
Yeah, just the KickStarter. If someone set me down being like, okay, this is what you're gonna go through with this, I'd probably be like, oh my god, I have enough with COVID. But actually, no regrets, of course, absolutely. But it is a lot of work, and the production side of the thing, it's a lot. And the first game took a lot of time in terms of production, much more than it was supposed to. Just for us, like we met the deadline and everything, but still, that was just not what we had in mind.
We produced the game, we printed the game 1 in 2 weeks, and game 2 we printed in 1 week,
and honestly, we had so many problems printing the game 1. For starters, we changed 3 printing machines.
Wow.
3 printing.
Oh, so you're printing it yourself?
We are printing most of it ourselves. Yeah. Well, yeah. So the most complicated, most sophisticated parts of the games are delegated. We have vendors doing it for us, but most of the items we design them the way that we can create them. Even because honestly, it's also because we don't have that much experience yet, and we don't have that many contacts in the industry. Maybe by the end of the chapter, maybe we'll have more vendors we can trust. But right now, say we need a page from a old encyclopedia. I want to see it in a very cool textured old paper that I can't make myself. Something that's really old, like a very old newspaper kind of thing. Yeah. And I want to have it this big, kind of more than letter size, non-standard format. And I want it in a week, something like that. Well, no print shop will take it, especially if I only have 500 items. It's not enough for a lot of print shops. So we just decided, okay, you know what, we just buy a printing machine because we do have the Kickstarter money and we can do it. And we just taught ourselves to do it, and we're cutting it, we're printing it, and we've got a whole stock of awesome papers now, and it's so fun. We have the glossy and old textured, different colors, parchment papers. It's amazing. I'm really enjoying it.
That's great. Yeah, that's besides, making puzzles, and when I feel like a lot of the game designers are telling us that they're learning a lot of the stuff that they can create on their own, rather than trusting somebody else who will be delaying your project forever, but you now have it in your own hands to kind of control the timing, which is a lot easier.
That's one thing I have to commend all of the guests that we've had on our show, whether they're just starting out to do their first project or they've been doing it because they're a big company or whatnot. But I think that just the process of learning as you go and getting better and streamlining your whole project development, I think is amazing. How you just start something, you try it, now you know a better way to do it, and as you go you just get faster and better. And I think it's just crazy, this industry, how everyone's been able to just start something and then
if you ask a question, you're going to get so many answers that help you.
Different, exactly. That's why we always ask. Well, one of the questions I'm sure she has in here is going to be helpful for others as well.
So I know that you also have Game Zero, right, as your bonus game that you guys started with, having free to all the backers that backed you up on there. It's for a regular subscriber who wants to play it, would they be able to purchase it as a side thing, if they didn't have a chance to back it up?
So we're thinking about it right now. We're considering it, but we want to hear our backers, our people who already got it. We want to hear the feedback first, and we want to hear their opinions on it. Because I know that a lot of people say, okay, if you said it's exclusive for Kickstarter, I want to be the only B.I.T person who has it. And I get that. And if we will have a lot of people saying that and they feel like they should just keep it to themselves, that's what's going to happen. But I'm also open to making it open for public, just a little add-on that's going to be available for much cheaper than the usual game because it's only one print product and everything else is online. But it is a lot of gameplay still. It's around an hour and a half of gameplay on average.
Because we were very surprised about that because when I opened it, I was like, wait, where is Game Zero? I was like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the game.
And I was like, how long is that going to take us? I thought it was going to be really quick, so we started with that first.
Yeah, we actually thought,
Oh my
we
God.
didn't use this yet.
Yeah.
But we finished the game. It's like, oh, that must be Game Zero. And then
Yeah, but I mean, it's a great way to have an introduction of the game this way because most of the time, like I said in my review, that it's mostly either like a write-up kind of a storyline or like a video intro, but this way you're able to kind of find your own way of how you're going to begin your game one, which we thought that was kind of really cool. In that
if anyone has played any of Scarlet Envelope's games, whether it's Game Zero or Chapter 1, please feel free to leave a comment. Like Jillian Raymond said, it was so much fun for her to play, and I guess she's in here trying to win that raffle for Chapter 1.1.
She's probably a backer already. She backs everything.
Yeah, I think she's one of the first ones who received the game too already. So
yeah. And if you have any questions as well, please ask because I'm pretty sure we want to know the same answers that you guys do.
Yeah, and then I for the concept-wise, right, because it's very different from your Game 1 game, which is mostly Game Zero's on the computer or based on searching and engines and whatnot. Did that concept come before designing Game 1, or was that the other way around? You already had a concept for Game Zero?
we didn't even have a decision to have a Game Zero. You have no idea how unprepared we were for the whole Kickstarter thing. We got so excited. So we only had like 2 or 3 stretch goals and we didn't know what they're gonna be. We were just like, like 5K, 7.5K, and like, we'll figure it out as we go. Because Kickstarter is so many tasks at the same time, you really need to compromise and go like, okay, you know what? I'm not prepared to say this right now. Ask me tomorrow. I'm gonna have an answer. Not an ideal strategy, people. Don't do it. Only do it if you're ready to like not sleep and have a lot of coffee. But it actually worked. The whole strategy, that wasn't really a strategy.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, you know what? I want to do something special for them, and I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna invest my hours in this.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna use Lisa's hours that much for this because she doesn't have them. Because game design is taken, the design part of it is taking a lot of time. So I was like, okay, can we create the game that doesn't really have a lot of print materials? So we're not going to be really producing a lot, cutting a lot. Lisa's not going to be designing like 11 items that have to be, all tested, and we need the papers and everything. So can I create something that's mostly online? And it just happened. I just sat down, and in a couple of hours I had a very solid idea of what we're going to be doing. I think Lisa was pretty surprised actually when I gave her the paper. She was like, yeah, you know what, this is going to work.
Right.
And we were still thinking if we want to do it during the Kickstarter because, of course, it's, taking one more task, just adding one more task to the whole endless list. But that was like, it's just going to be me who's going to do it because I do a lot of social media just by trade.
And I think your 0 and 1 is really trying to also train people's thoughts on how to solve puzzles.
Yeah.
So it was nice to
Like a
have
warm-up.
that add-on so that they can continue on, journey on with the rest of your games, which is awesome.
Yeah. But we did get feedback that Game Zero is pretty difficult compared to Game 1. But it's also happened.
Supposed to be that difficult.
Yeah, it also
When you make the games too easy,
That's
then
what
they
I
complain
said.
also. So don't worry.
I said the same
you can't
thing.
please everybody.
I was like, wait, hold on. Game Zero feels harder than Game 1. Like,
this one.
It is. It actually is. Game 2, though, I'm sorry if some people really feel like, wow, the difference is just too much. What happened to the girls? I am sorry. We were working on it for such a long time. We just decided that's just it. Just accept the challenge. Game 2 is a bit more difficult, and I guess all the rest of the games are also not going to be that easy. But you are playing puzzles to challenge yourself a little bit,
right.
and you do have online hints, if anything.
If you can access.
Okay.
That's
true. This is the first time I played where we had to find the website for the hint. It'll give it to you. So, like, if you can't solve the hint website, then
right, which is an added challenge. Which I thought was great.
What do you think about it, by the way? Because we do get mixed reviews.
Starter can get access hints.
So we have 2 difficulty levels, right? Starter level gets the link right away, so like they are fine. The experienced though has to solve one puzzle. That's usually we try to keep it pretty easy, that puzzle, but still, some people might get stuck.
I actually like it. It's like opening the box that you need in order to move on. So you need that in order to like get the whole thing. But then it's up to you to judge, like, oh, am I going to look at a hint or not? But you know that you were able to open it and access it. Like, I think it's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, like for us, like I guess it was okay, but I mean, if somebody, I guess if they get stuck, then they will probably have to email you then.
No, she said there's an option for.
No, but that's the starter. If
Yeah.
you pick that package, and they'll send
Yes.
it that way.
Oh, you mean if
We've been emailed a couple of times, and we can see that some people are totally cool with it, and they just go, you know what, I guess I can solve it without the hints, but I would like to get a hint, and I'm not getting this puzzle. And we're giving them extra hints, but of course it's a matter of emailing us and waiting for us to get back to you. We try to be really fast, but some people email like late in the night, and we might not be awake, so we're not gonna reply right away. But we had a couple of people, just I think maybe 2 for now. Yeah, around 2 people who seemed frustrated. And I also understand that. So we're gonna be, again, keeping an eye on the feedback. For now, we think it's a cool solution for people who want to challenge themselves. I like it, but if we get a lot of people who are frustrated, of course, we don't want you to be frustrated. We want you to have fun.
Right.
But there is also always an option to switch to a starter level, which is a kind of a sucky thing to say, I guess. So I probably shouldn't erase that.
It's like, just give up your ego and your things and just take the starter if that's the case.
Yeah, I know, right? We probably can't say that. Yeah.
All right.
But
we have some questions. So Angela from Crack a Nut, her and her mom, they create Crack a Nut games. She has a question for you. She wants to know, she says she runs into this issue often, and she never has a good response without saying something like it's immersive, it's tangible, it's interactive, it's mystery, escape room. She wants to know, when someone asks you, what do you do? How do you describe your product in your game?
So initially, that was a big thing for us to figure out, because KickStarter has this little tiny line, and you need to put a little catchy description there, and you're like, what am I really, in one line, in like 5 words? I don't know. So we went with the escape room in an envelope, just because it's something that we figured is pretty clear for obscure secret society adventure was a part of the name, but the description was the escape room in an envelope. It's not exactly that, to be honest with you, but for people who are not familiar with the market and maybe not even that familiar with escape rooms, they still have a rough understanding of what escape room is about. It's something where you have to figure out what happens, probably not linear, and has some puzzles in it. So yes, okay, that explains it. And when we say in an envelope, we kind of give them an idea that it's not a box, it doesn't have physical items like locks and stuff, and it comes to your doorstep, so that's good enough for us.
Right.
For people with subscription boxes, I would probably use the same language, but say like in a box, like escape room in a box, but something close to that, something saying yes, immersive game. I understand where she's coming from. It's like
hers is also different. It's boxes, but it's also packages. Like she has like all these different variations. So for her, I'm assuming it's a little bit harder.
Escape room and packages.
Yeah.
Packages, yeah, there you go.
adventure about something
package.
like this.
puzzle package.
It is a tricky one. It is a tough one, and I guess you should just trying out different things, writing it down, put it on your website, looking at how people react to it. When I was just even talking to my friends, I figured that this language, like escape room and envelope, was something that was getting a positive reaction and kind of some understanding in the eyes, you know, something like, oh, okay, that's cool, instead of, huh? What are you talking about? So that was a good kind of...
Okay. Jillian Raymond said she panicked when she realized that she needed to solve a problem for the hint site as well, but it ended up not being as hard.
Jillian, this is like a piece of cake for you. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. It's like you probably were like trying to make it more... No, she probably overthought it. That's what it is. That's usually what happens.
Yeah.
Some people overthought it a lot, and actually the answer was in the game one at least. Answer was very easy.
Yeah, we did the same thing.
Yeah, we're like, no, it's somewhere else. No, it can't be that.
Brandon from Escape Room Adventure wants to know, how difficult was it to tie together, come up with the many, different themes that you have. Also, he hears the chapter 4 serial killer envelope.
Yeah.
On the start Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Hi, Brandon. He's probably thinking I should have worn something purple to this interview. Probably not. Anyway, inside joke. For the coming up with the themes, crazy easy and the most enjoyable part of this whole adventure, because it's literally, it's limitless. This creative process is literally limitless. We are from the industry where we also get to create things, right, for marketing purposes to promote our clients, but we're always limited. And you think you'd probably get very creative, but no, not really. You just keep repeating the things that work, and you don't usually get to come up with something really crazy. And here you literally just sit down and you go, what would I want to create? Like, really, if nothing was to limit me, and you're just like,
you went, I want to create a game where people hatch eggs.
No, that was your idea and Tanya's idea. We have another person in the team who's helping us remotely right now, Tanya. If you're watching, we love you. She's helping me with the narrative design specifically. So she's helping me to do some research sometimes and with some ideas sometimes. So I was just like, we were coming up with themes like serial killer, and we had a lot of like dark ideas and this type of stuff. And I was like, yeah, cliche too. So I was like, okay, you know what? It's fine to have a couple of them because people do like them and we do like them, but let's have something a bit more crazy. Like, I want medieval types, like a castle, maybe a dragon. Like, I want the dragons, I want the dragon illustrations. And she goes, okay, dragon eggs, that's a cool visual. I'm like, yeah, dragon eggs, okay, cool, what's with the dragon eggs? And she goes, people hatch dragon eggs. I'm like, oh, what? That's so far, that's the stupidest and craziest thing we have in the game. It's not really going to be a part of the game.
It's not going to be an
example. We're not that strange. Everyone's going to just think we're insane right now. It's just
I'm actually curious to see how you would whip that up. Like, I'm like, how are they going to do it?
Why did you say that? Now, people are like saying in the game. Oh my god. No.
0.1. There you go.
Catching the serial killer in medieval times and
sit on this envelope for 10 days.
And maybe you get a dragon, maybe not.
All right, so we're gonna take one little quick break and tell everyone the secret phrase when you enter to go that raffle.
Yeah, you will.
Because I need my Scarlet now. You type that in there.
There's the secret phrase, and you will win. Well, if you're lucky, you will win a copy of Game Zero and Chapter 1.1 newspaper, which is the introduction to mysteries.
They're even going to include a worldwide shipping.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy.
We have to mention that now because we're getting overseas people watching us, and they're all entering the raffle. And if we can't, we're sorry.
Hopefully. Awesome. So I was talking to you guys before about the difficulty level that people can choose from, right, between starters and experience. Is the only difference that they'll get the hint piece, or is there other like more puzzles or more difficult puzzles, or that's the only difference?
You want to answer it? You look like you want to answer that.
There are some puzzles that are different.
Oh, okay.
Because when I make the game, I usually make it with my taste. something I would like to play, and then I give it to Anna, and she goes, I don't understand anything.
Yeah, another fun thing about us, she's the experienced level player, like if we're talking in the terms of our game, and I'm very much a starter, so I don't get a lot of puzzles she creates. Like, I don't. I love them, but I suck at them. So I just look at them being like, people will never get this. And I'm usually wrong, because people actually expect something that's multi-layered when they play the subscription like ours. So for the experienced game, we usually keep the puzzles that I think are freaking scary. Maybe, of course, after the playtest, we usually change up a little, like change up some things. But for the starter, we just create like a lighter version of these puzzles. Like, say, in the experienced, one puzzle might be like multi-layered, like 3 layers to it. So you figure out this, and then it's a number that actually means something else, and then you get it at the end, or maybe you look somewhere else using those clues. It's so hard to talk about this game. Yeah, great explanation.
Just remove one of the layers usually.
Or 2. And some of the puzzles we just go, okay, you know what, this is just too hard for people that really have no experience or almost no experience with, say, escape rooms even, not even puzzle games. That would just be only solvable with the hints. And so we usually drop it for the starter level.
Brandon says, bring me scary puzzles.
Bring me scary.
Wait for game 13, Brandon. It's gonna be my baby.
She's like, you're never gonna get it.
No.
No hints.
Wait, so are you making the different games out of order? Like, you're not doing one?
Yes, it's out of order.
Yeah.
You're doing it as you go.
I'm with Brandon. I'm hoping there's a scary themed one that you guys are cooking up.
Oh, he's talking about how scary the levels of difficulty the puzzles are.
Oh,
You're
I'm sorry.
talking
I
about
meant scary,
the
like scary themed.
He wants this serial killer game as well that's coming up, the game before. So it's both things, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And the serial killer one, it's also, it's also tricky because there is all this parental advisory that we also have to respect, and we can't really go super bloody. So when we say kind of scary, for Scarlet Envelope, it's never gonna mean a lot of blood and like photos of the bodies or something like that. We're not gonna have something like that, but there might be like case files from the doctor that in a lot of awful details explain what happened to a poor woman who was found dead or something like around that. So that's kind of like PG-13 still, no full visuals, but I hope it's gonna be kind of like spooky enough.
Yeah.
I don't think you don't always need blood and gore,
Yeah.
I mean, to make it eerie or scary. I think,
Story,
the story,
the music, the setting,
Yeah.
everything will play into it. So and also just talking about the obstacles I was talking about before, and if you have any kind of tips right now, because now you've went through this crazy process, any tips for the creators out there that you can share?
Any advice or
Wisdom.
Yeah.
Prepare for Kickstarter a lot earlier than you think.
Yeah, if we're talking Kickstarter, then my main advice would be like think about everything in advance. Think of all the stretch goals. Just imagine you're gonna make like much more than you expect to make. Just imagine it, just in case. Have these ideas for stretch goals. Have some add-on prepared in advance, so you can just go like, yeah, you know what? We just decided we're gonna give it to you. This is what we did, but we totally not faked it, but we made it look like it's so easy for us. But actually, I was just there, trying to make this thing happen at the same time. And just in terms of creating the subscription, I'd say it's a beautiful thing to learn how to delegate stuff. It's a beautiful thing because I don't think there is this ideal person out there that can do all of it. Just even 2 people. I don't think it's doable by just 2 people, fast and high quality. So everyone has some flaws. Like for me, I very quickly learned that I need a proofreader. Like my English is not 100% perfect. I need someone to just look at all my writings when I'm creating the game, and that's totally fine. Like I totally accept that. That's good. But I want, I'd rather have a great printed game than a sucky digital one. If we can't make this digital part be actually brilliant. Like if we just don't have the skills, let's not do it. And instead Lisa said, well, we have people who can help us with that. Let's just hire like a developer on an hourly basis to help with this and this. And so we're doing that for the space themed game, even though I'm sure Lisa is probably able to figure out how to do these things by herself, but it's just going to take her a lot of time, and there are better things she can do with this time. It's hard for me. I'm the kind of person who'd rather, have a printing machine and print the whole game by herself.
Yeah, do that. Just control everything yourself.
Because if anything goes wrong, at least you're able to be on top of it as opposed to relying on.
Yes, but also you can't do it with everything. So you still have to delegate as many things as you can, and that would probably be my biggest advice. Just get comfortable with it, understand what you are able to delegate, and still provide a good result and still control the quality.
Oh, that's good advice.
That's great advice.
And I know that you're shipping all over the world currently. Has there been a most popular subscription location that you
where's the most of the
where are all the fans
people coming from?
3 letters. USA. Absolutely. And when we just launched, before the Kickstarter event, when we were about to launch, we were going to go as a Canadian subscription only available for Canadians. I don't even know why. I'm telling you, we had like really low expectations. And when I registered the Instagram account, I started like following some people, just like industry people, and adding hashtags and everything. And I started getting a lot of questions from American people, just being like, yo, what's up with this like shipping to Canadians? Like, are you kidding? I can't get the game. And we were like, are we kidding? Should we just look at it like from a different light? And we definitely changed that very fast. Like in a matter of a couple of days, we were just like, okay, shipping to US, absolutely, guys, you're welcome.
US was like forcing like,
don't
give me too much.
US could be running out of games to play, so it's like we need games. Give us games.
Yeah. Oh my God. When it's like hundreds of them, like on Kickstarter, they can legit bully you into doing anything. Like they did. Like a pin, Angela wink, like literally started this flash mob in our comment section, and everyone started, you know what? By the way, I would love to have a pin.
I was like, yes,
sure.
You ask anything.
That's also not the greatest strategy, and that would be my next tip. Like, probably don't do everything they ask just because we're so fascinated by them, because we just felt so grateful, so eternally grateful. We were like, you know what, if you ask us to just I don't know, like whatever you ask us to do, we're just gonna do it, because we just wanted to please them so much. But it's I understand it was actually a good decision to create a pin. It's fun, everyone was really happy, and we are very happy with working on it right now. Probably gonna get it soon, and it's gonna feel really cool to just have a little pin with our logo and everything.
And also, I mean, obviously you named yourself the envelopes. I'm assuming the envelopes are going to stay that size. They're not going to get bigger into packages or anything like that? Or is that final price a little hint on, is it going to be a bigger in terms of, size-wise, or are we kind of
like, are you sticking with the same package that's being sent?
For Kickstarter, the last shipment would be a package, yes. So we can put a pin in it.
Yeah.
And we will put most of the envelopes in it as well.
Yeah, for Kickstarter, like the pledge where people pledged for all the games, because we need to have. Angela just said sorry. Yeah, it's okay. Because we need to.
Oh no! I revealed the secret.
I thought it's secret now.
It's really doesn't know about the pin. Really, chill it. You are gonna get it because you backed all the games. So chill. It's your pin. What was I saying? The envelope size. It's actually hard to find the red envelopes out there, you guys. It's not that easy, and they're not that cheap.
So we bought like 2,000 of them in one setting.
Yeah, so probably not going to be changing the size for some time. But honestly, there are not that many sizes available. So we're just gonna. The way we design in the game, we already think about all the items to be placed in this envelope, like cut the right way. And for the first game, we didn't think of that. Like in a lot of. We did have a couple of batches printed that were just like not fitting the envelope, and
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's mainly
well.
for the shipping cost too, and also like for people in Europe, they're always thinking about like, oh, is there going to be custom tax? Is it going to be oversized or something? So,
yeah, that's true.
last question.
Last question
Okay.
is, what is the future for Scarlet Envelope after episode 13, obviously? And are you thinking of another Kickstarter? Will there be another series of 13 games with a different storyline? Like, what is the next step or the future for you guys?
But everyone keeps asking us what's gonna happen
It's
after
the most popular
13
question.
is the most popular one. Yeah. Okay. So it is a secret because we don't know for sure. That's why.
It's really secretive. Even you don't know.
Yeah, it's a big secret. We don't even know this secret.
No, we do have ideas.
Of course.
We're not gonna be working on chapter 2 anytime soon, but there's gonna be some things.
But there is a chapter 2.
Well, we hope there's gonna be a chapter 2 for sure. We just, depending on how successfully this project does so far, it's been pure joy for us, and it's also doing really well. So yes, there are really high hopes that by the time that we're done with the 13 games, we might do something a bit different for the chapter 2. And of course, some people are suggesting, is it ever going to be a box maybe? And you know what, maybe it's going to be something else. We don't know. We do have some ideas, but we don't have time to work on them because we need to deliver the 13 games we promised.
Yeah.
So when we're done with that,
So everybody that's watching, we want chapter 2, so we're gonna start hashtagging Scarlet Envelope. We want chapter 2.
Look, Brandon wants it to be like a rainbow kind of
We're gonna
thing. He's like, well, let's go with violet. And
Violet.
there's also yellow. And
Well, I mean, if there's no more red envelopes to buy, you're gonna change the color to a different
White envelope.
white envelope, so
with red
original.
scarlet writing. There you go. In this segment, we're going to play a game, and it is infamously called
Eat or drink.
Take a Drink. What are you drinking, first of all? Let's take a look.
Look, what is she doing? She's putting the beer in like a coffee cup.
Oh wait, is there coffee in there? Are you making your own formula now?
No, here.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, very Canadian of you.
What kind of beer? What kind of beer are you drinking?
It's acai, the Asian one.
Oh, acai, that's some good beer.
I really love it. But you didn't bring any cup for me, no? You just drink from the can.
you're drinking from the can. You're the boss today.
So this is the way we play. We ask our guests questions about them or their game. In particular, we're asking them about chapter 1,
0,
game
1,
0.
Yeah.
If they get it right, we drink. If they get it wrong, they drink. And what we are drinking is Weinenkugel Spritzen. So I've had this, and the summer shandy is delicious. We're trying a different one, which is seltzer and grapefruit and beer mixed together. So I'm very excited. So I hope you get all of your answers right, so that I can finish this.
I really doubt it, but I'm gonna drink anyway.
I don't know. I kind of went a little bit difficult this time.
Oh man.
Great.
All right, so let's get the timer. You're gonna get 10 seconds from the right after we ask the questions, and you'll have 10 seconds to answer.
All right. So our first question. What's the name of the farmstead mentioned in the note?
Busalan State.
The farmstead. What is it?
I got this.
What's it?
Busalan State.
She already said it, huh?
Yeah, Busalan State.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, give it up. That was great. Okay,
She's like,
cheers.
Is this a real place?
No.
Oh, okay. It's like, oh yeah?
This is strong.
Oh, okay.
I'm just, doing these little pieces by hand, so they actually look like someone teared them down. So I'm looking at them so much.
So you have tiered like thousands by now.
Yeah.
Wait, one more time. Can you pronounce, what is it, Gusalan?
This one.
Busalan.
Yeah.
Gusalan Estate. All right, cool. By the way, guys, you're their lifeline. So if they need help, you're more than welcome to chime in and try to help them out.
Save, but sure.
This has never happened yet, but so number 2 is on the class of 1989 paper. What is Daniela's last name?
No, that's impossible. Daniela. Oh my gosh,
It's a joke, Bessie. This is
No joke. Does anybody out there know?
That's a real Daniela.
That's a real Daniela, by the way.
Oh.
Just saying, we had like one of the rewards for the early bird backers of all the games was the immersive writing, so we're writing them into the storylines. And that Danielle is real person with real photo. They gave consent to us using the photos and the names. So the real people from there, I don't really remember. The fictional ones I do. I just followed it, just not
so
fiction.
happened I picked
Yeah, that we picked real one.
Yeah. So Danielle, if you're watching it, that was you.
Yeah, you didn't chime in, Daniela.
Nice.
All right, let's get the clap ready. And number 3.
What year was Department of Asian Studies established?
Oh, you wrote it. Come on.
Come on.
Your year.
Well, you can venture
Wait,
again.
let me just this.
Yeah, let me just.
You run out of time.
You-
No time.
1860.
What is it?
1860?
Whoa.
1976.
Great job.
Cheers.
I also didn't know if that was like a significant year or not.
Yeah, usually when we do the year questions, it's
Or
like,
the
it
names,
might
they
mean
usually-
something to them. They're gonna get it right away.
Yeah.
Question number
This one should be easy.
4. On the invitation, what was the first course?
That's on you. I don't know.
Tahini dressing, something with tahini dressing. Like stew, African stew with tahini dressing.
Wow, okay, that's pretty.
Yeah,
really cool.
let's drink together because it's actually elegant African peanut stew. But you had, let's cheers. We'll drink together. Very good.
Okay, I tried.
African peanut stew. I was wondering what that is at first.
I don't know. It sounds good.
Fancy, just googled like fancy sayings to eat in the restaurant and was like, yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, I can go for some African peanut stew right now.
All right. On the newspaper, what's the real estate agent's name?
Gary something.
Someone Tilly. His last name is Tilly.
Mr. Taylor.
Mr. Tilly.
It's like Jeopardy. It's like, sure, if I get the last
Yeah,
name.
just you can say the last
Okay.
name. It counts. Wait, actually, Lisa was close. You had the first letter of the name right.
G. Yeah, G. G. Something. George Tilly.
No, it's like those sillies.
Greg Tilly. Greg.
Oh my god! Like this, we created this game.
You
It's
created it. I
why?
just put them
It's
in.
mostly me.
I
Yeah.
already.
We're giving you that one. That was a good one. Mr. Tilly is also valid. We didn't say that it wasn't.
Mr. Tilly, sir.
All right, so
Bonus question.
bonus question for you is on the newspaper. What is the cat Little Big of Troubles, aka?
Oh, we know that.
Well,
Thank you.
Name?
That's the question.
You started class. Come on. BTB, aka the Little Bit of Trouble. Okay, BTB.
Yes. You
Baby.
said Bitty Bit?
That's also a real cat.
Give it up.
Who's
Great
cat?
job.
That's your cat?
It's a cat of one of our backers, Lucille. It's cute.
You guys give a little shout out.
Yeah, give it up for a Scarlet Envelope. Thank you so much for playing Take a Drink with us. All right, so one more time. So right now, they're offering a discount.
Mm-hmm.
And,
It's going to be 20% off and discount in the next 24 hours after the interview. You type in MasterMinds.
Mm-hmm. And then also, to enter our raffle, you just need to type, I need my Scarlet now.
And this will be available until the next 2 episodes.
Yeah, the next 2 episodes,
Until we announce
which is
the next
episode 15, we'll announce the winner.
Yeah.
Oh my God, 15.
I know, my
Yeah.
God. It's fun. But thank you so much, guys. This was
Yeah.
a lot of fun today to be on the show with you, and I hope everyone else enjoyed. For our next episode, we're going to have the conundrum box.
Conundrum box.
So stay tuned.
14.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. It was great to learn so much about you and your concept and your process of how you guys are creating these your game. And we had a wonderful time playing it and getting to know you as well.
Yes. Thank you. And thank you, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
3 hands left for me to choose. 2 hints left for me to use. One hint left for me to move. Time is running out, gotta figure something out. 3 hints left for me to choose. 2 hints left for me to use. One hint left for me to move. Time is running out, gotta figure something out.